Welcome to your walkthrough for exercise 10F. So in our questions, we've got a couple to do, but they're not too bad. In particular, with this first one for question number 5, you have A, C, and E. E will be a little bit harder, but essentially one of the boxes for each of the shapes is 1 centimeter squared. So count up the number of squares. So say if I had an example here, I have 2 squares, that would be 2 centimeters squared. Again, A, pretty straightforward. C, have a think about how you could kind of piece some things together. So if I have half of this one and half of this one, I could actually add those together to make one full 1 centimeter cubed. And for letter E, have a go with it, maybe move it around a little bit, but you might need to estimate that one for E. Question 6. Now we have some rectangles and we have some squares, and we are asked to find the area of them. First thing you need to do for every single one of these is identify what the shape is, okay? And then write down our formula. The next thing we need to do is we need to annotate our diagrams. So on here, I've got my length down here and I've got my breadth here. So let's substitute it into our formulas. So my area is equal to 20 centimeters multiplied by 10 centimeters, which gives me 200 centimeters squared. Okay, and remember, you're doing the numbers, they multiply together, and then the centimeters, you end up with centimeters squared for our area. Next one, C, again, same process. Which type of actual shape do we have? Write out your formula, followed by identifying and annotating your diagram. Again, with all of these, easiest thing is to draw a diagram. So I have my length here and I have my breadth here. So let's put in my length. My length was 3.5 centimeters and my breadth is 2 centimeters. So once I multiply those together, I end up with 7 centimeters squared. Letter E is a square. A square has 4 sides which are exactly the same. Okay, and again, we've identified what type of shape it is. My formula for my square and its area is the side multiplied by the side. We can also write it as side squared. So my side, let's annotate our diagram as we just did before. We have is there, so it's 1.2 millimeters, and I'm going to multiply it by, again, 1.2 millimeters. Or I could also write it as 1.2 millimeters in brackets, and then I can square it, because that expression is equivalent to the one above. So my answer, when I put it into a lovely little calculator, I end up with 1.44 millimeters squared. Next one that we have is question number 7. Question number 7, you are asked to find the side length. Have a play around with this, but you're using a couple of different things. So first one you're asked is actually for a square. A square, again, has sides that are all the same. So the sides are all the same. And remember our formula, so we can substitute in. So our formula for our square is area equals side squared. Our area in this case is 4 centimeters squared. Okay, so remember we already had that. So let's substitute that in for this one here. Let's rewrite our expression now. So I've got 4 equals side squared. And you might do a little bit of trial and error to figure out what that one is. Or what you can do, I know you guys already know how to do this, you can square root your 4 to get your side. So once I actually do that, I do get my answer, which is my side is equal to 2. And you can always do a little bit of a check, chuck it in. So 2 squared, yep, that equals 4 centimeters cubed. Done. Next one. Again, you have an area and it is of a square. For a square, you have the sides are all the same. And my formula is area is side squared. So again, let's substitute in. So I've got 144 equals side squared, and I can find the square root of 144 to give me my value for S. Once I do that, I end up with my value for S, or my side, is actually 12, and this one, it is kilometers. Keep track of what you have as your unit of measurement. Next one, hopping over to the next page. So question 8, you are changing between two units of measurement. We have meters squared and hectares. So essentially 1 hectare is 10,000 meters squared. Okay, so we have to convert first of all from meters squared to hectares. So if I'm going from a smaller to a bigger, if I'm going from a smaller number to a bigger number, I am going to be dividing. So let's divide this number. So I've got my 20,000, and I'm going to be dividing it by the 10,000 here, which gives me 2 hectares. Nice, simple, straightforward. Again, similar thing. We're going from meters squared to hectares. So I am going to be dividing. So this time I have 5,000, and I'm dividing it by 10,000, which gives me my answer of 0.5 hectares, or half a hectare if you'd like. Last question. You are given a scenario. The scenario actually asks you, so it says glass is to be cut from a square window, hence why I've drawn a square. Squares are really important too because we have all sides are the same, so let's include that on our diagram. And with this in particular, it says the side length is 50 centimeters. So let's annotate again in our diagram that I've drawn. I have 50 centimeters, and I want to find the area of the glass required. So my shape, identify it first. My shape is a square. My area formula for a square is the side multiplied by the side, or side squared. I can now substitute in my side value here. So my area is going to be 50 squared, which gives me an answer of 2,500, and I need to include my units. So let's do that on the next line. So 2,500 centimeters squared, and you are done. Good luck, gents.